Welcome back everybody. So guys, in this class I'm just going to teach you about the PHP MyAdmin. What is the PHP MyAdmin? This is really interesting feature of the MySQL. Basically, we need to work on MySQL, which is the really important thing. But before that, before the PHP MyAdmin, we was using the CMD. But now CMD means the DOS. So by the way, for now we can use the beautiful graphical front end. So this is actually made on the PHP. You can see that the index.php is there with some variables and etc. But basically what it is a simple PHP MyAdmin. If you just want to make access on it, let's just type the localhost /php myadmin admin and press enter. And then you can see some important things here: the databases, the SQL, the status, the users, the export and import. We'll use the databases a lot of time, the export and import, and the users. Basically, for using the MySQL, we just need to make some users, some specific users who can make access on the database. So we'll make that here by clicking on the users, and then we will make the user. Then you can see that the databases. What are the databases? In a databases, we can create a lot of databases. We can see our pre-created databases, and then how we save the data in a database. First of all, we just need to talk about the database. Actually, all the data, for example, a blog don't have anything in a page. Everything comes from the blog, okay, the database, and all the data is stored in a database. For the files and the images, we just save their addresses and their paths to the database. This is really simple. Basically, how we store the data inside the database: we store the data inside the database using some tables, and in the tables we make the columns, we make the rows, and then we save the data in rows and columns. I'll just teach you how we do that. First of all, we need to make a new database. So what we need to do, we can click on there on a databases, or we can click on this new button to make a new database. Both of them are perfect. Then there is the option, the create database button. Click there and just create and just rename what database do you want to make. I just want to make the database of the learn PHP, and now the collection or the EDC, just select the collection, don't need to change the type, and just click on the create. And now you can see that the database learn PHP has been created, and where it is, here it is, the learn PHP. Click on the learn PHP. Now no table is found in database. Exactly, this database has nothing. The learn PHP has nothing. Now in a learn PHP, which kind of database you want to make? I just want to make the database of pupils, or you can say the users. So I'm going there and users, and then how much columns do you want? The 4 columns are okay. Here I'm just mentioning that I'm just mentioning about columns. The rows are automatically, as much as data we put, the rows will be created, but we need to select the columns first. We can select the columns later on as well. I'm gonna click on the go button, and now this is the time to create or put the column names. Basically, we are creating the columns. So the first one here, I'm just gonna receive the name of the user. Okay, here I'm gonna receive the email address, and the third one I'm gonna receive the password. Okay, now for the first one, what I'm gonna do, I'm just simply gonna make an ID. This is really important task, the ID. In the first one, we always make an ID. In fact, anywhere at the first, at the last, or etc, we generally we just make the ID at the very first. And what the ID can do, it actually collects all the data. The ID is always unique. The ID must be primary. The meaning of unique is if a single row has ID as 1, the second row must be 2 or 3, but can't be 1 again. So I'm going to make the ID the UID, which means user ID. You can type the user ID completely. Then there is a types. The first one must be the integer, because this one is the ID. The ID must be the integer. The name must be the text, or you can say the various character, the varchar. What is the varchar? In a varchar, you can save the numbers and the names both. Okay, in a text, you can only save the text, but also you can save the numbers, but in a string way. If you remember that, what are the strings? I'm just gonna clear you something about the text and the integers, the varchars, the very basic difference. For example, if you just want to put the numbers, the contact number, so you should not select the integer. you can select the text because the contact number are not for adding or multiplying or doing something. They are just for the information. So now they're just the piece of information, so they can be in text. The email in text format, the password in text format, and now I'm gonna make some new columns. How much columns do you want? I'm just making 2 columns and click on go button. So at the end you can see that there are 2 columns has been created. This one as the date means when this user has been created. This user created on the whatever that date. So now I just need to choose the date, okay? And the contact number, okay? So this should be the text again, simple. Now we just did this area. Now just go to the next one and select the index as primary for the first one, only for the UID, okay? The primary can be only one. Go a little more and now you can see that AI, the auto incrementation. So now which one do you want to make auto increment? Exactly, the ID should be the auto increment, means if you create a single row, the second row will be automatically number 2 and the third one automatically number 3. So you just don't need to put any content in the UID. The UID will get the content automatically itself. Just click on save button and now we've created the table here. You can see that the users table. Now if you just want to check out this, you can see that the rows are 0. There it has no rows, but if you just click on the structure, so you can see it's a structure, the UID, the name, the email, the password, and the date, and the contact number. So basically we've created a table here inside this Learn PHP database, but it's empty. If I just go to the browse, so now MySQL returned an empty result set, means nothing, the 0 rows. When I just browse this table, we are on a table, we are not directly in a Learn PHP. Basically we are in a users table, which is empty for now. We just need to put some content inside the users table before just browsing it. So how to put the content? There are some options. You can see that the insert option, the insert button, click on the insert link, and now you can see that the name, the email, the password, the date, and the contact number. Let's just put all that things and then go further. For the name, I'm just putting as the Mark, and in an email I'm just putting like abc@abcbc.com, and in a password I'm putting the 123456. You can put any password. This is not necessary for putting the perfect one. Just click on a date and I'm just gonna select for now I'm just selecting whatever date, any date I can select. So now go to the bottom. I just selected the 8th March 2016, and now in a contact number 123456789. Okay, done. Just click on go button and now one row inserted. Now don't need to click on go again because it will be duplicated. Just simply click on the browse and now you can see that now this is not empty. One total result, and here is a result. The UID is 1 automatically. We just didn't give the UID. Don't forget that when I just click on the insert button, I just didn't give the UID because it's automatically updating. Just click on the browse and now you can see that the UID is automatically 1. The name is Mark. The email is abc@abc.com. The password is 123456. The date and the contact number. So it's automatically put in. Now if you just want to put another one, consider that it's not empty now. That means it's going perfect. If I just click on insert again, so now I'm going to put another data. So don't need to go to the UID because it's automatically updating. It's automatically incrementing 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. I'm going in a names area and I'm just putting the second name as the Michael, and in an email I'm just typing abcd@abcd.com. in a password I'm just putting 654321, and any date I'm just selecting any date. I'm selecting the 22 March, and the contact number I'm just typing as 987654321. and now I can put another one also. You can see that, but before putting anything, just click on the ignore. Just uncheck the ignore because it will be ignored. Then you can see only 2, but if you just want more, then you can see that the continue insertion with 2 rows. Right now the 2 rows has been selected. You can make this as the 5, 10, 15, 20 or 40, 30 or 40. You can select as much as data you have. This time they are 2 rows now. Okay, you can select 5. Now you can see that it's 5 now, but I'm making this only 1, so now it's only 1. I can't make the second one, but if I just select 2, so I can put the 2 datas, the 2 rows. Just uncheck the ignore, and now here the Michael has been copied, but we need to delete this one. This is the second row, don't forget that. This one is the first row, the Michael, the etc. Now after I just uncheck the ignore, I got the new one, and remove all that and put the content here. As the name, I'm just putting as the Spike. In an email, I'm just selecting spike@abc.com. In a password, the 345678. Okay, whatever. The date, in a date, I'm just simply typing the same date as I just typed at the top one, or the 21, no issue. In a contact number, I'm just putting blah 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 and just clicking on the go button. So now you can see that 2 rows inserted, and the last one's row ID is 3. Exactly, we just put it 3 rows, 1 2 3. So now our table has some data, our database has a table, and the table has some data. So now we can go further. We just completed the PHP MyAdmin's task, the basic task of the PHP MyAdmin, but we just need to create the users, which is really important for now. By clicking on a users area, we will be creating some users. I'm just clicking on the users, and now you can see that there are some users. Why we need to create the users? We just need to create the users because when we just call the data in a database, in a PHP, the database is data in a PHP, so PHP will be asking for the username, that by which user's authority you are just showing the data. So now we just need to make the database as well. Not the database, actually the user. So I'm just clicking on click on add user now, and now you can see that the username, let's just type the username whatever you want. I'm just typing the username as learn. I can type any username, don't forget what I'm just putting here. Also you can put your own. First one I'm just typing as learn, and as the host I'm just selecting as localhost, and in a password use text field. You can select no password as well, so you just don't need to put the password anymore. You can you can work without password as well, but I'm gonna select the use text field, and in a password I'm just typing hello 123. Now retype hello 123. Okay, now you can generate the default password as well. This password can be any text and numbers, but this will be really typical, but you can make that too. Now, do you want to make any specific database with the same name of the name you just make here, learn PHP? Okay, now so the username is learn PHP for now. Now if you're just creating the database, so now grant all privileges on wildcard name. I just don't want to do both of the things, just go down, and now the global privileges, check all. So what they mean, this username can select the data from the database, insert, update and delete and file the data from the database. It can create the alter index, all these things it can do, this username can do. And now resource limits, node setting these options to 0 removes the limit. All these things are 0, so now it's unlimited to use any resource, means it can use a lot. Max queries as much as 0, that means unlimited. So everything is fine, just click on the go button. Now I have a new user, the learn PHP, which password is hello123. So in the next class we will use this username and the password and this database in a PHP, and I'll just teach you how to connect the database with the PHP. So stay tuned and goodbye.